Grapes are so fucking good.
Hey, morning, guys. Today is. At what age do you learn how to read a calendar, right? June 12th. June 12th, it is Thursday. I am down to 197. So I started Sunday morning at 205, today down to 197. I am on my 5th day in a row. This is the longest I've gone. I've only ever done 4 days in a row before. Maintaining 2,500 calories. I just want to briefly talk about some ways that I've been engaging with the scale in order to sort of leverage having some progress daily. Even though the scale, it doesn't tell you everything that's happening, especially like under the hood. Under the hood. But it does tell you something. Weight is weight is a great idea to go by. There's the So yeah, so like for example, I like to have big volume of food. For some people who have digestive issues, for some people who really hold water weight, like myself, it can be touch and go when it comes to that. You know, like this past Monday, I want to say it was, I weigh in at 201, Tuesday's 201 again. Now, how does it go from 205 to 201 to 201 on the same calories, same meal timing, same frequency? And, well, the reality is, who the fuck knows? You know? Who the fuck knows? Nobody knows. So, yeah, I've been trying to, like, find ways to leverage my meals throughout the day so that I can, like, pull on volume when I need it and then push it away when I want to, like, get into the second half of my day and start clearing out my digestive tract for the weigh-in the next morning. So, I realized that if I really do well on high volumes of food in the first half of my day, I seem to be higher energy, I seem to be able to digest it without getting sluggish, I seem to be able to stay productive, and I also seem to notice that food noise plummets when I have a big volume of food and liquids in my belly at work. In the second half of the day, I crash seemingly no matter what. And it makes sense. I'm up at 3 a.m., I do some weights, I do some cardio, and then I go do construction for 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours. So it's like, duh. Yeah, of course, like come 2 o'clock, when I put something in my belly and a little bit of blood needs to go to my stomach to digest, I'm going to plummet, and this is probably ubiquitous to everybody, even if you're not as active. You've been awake 12 plus hours and you're coming down. So I started packing larger lunches. Like, for example, yesterday I had 3 pounds of white grapes. Comes out to about 900 calories. My breakfast is about 600 calories, These large volumes of food really just like mute the food noise in my head. And then later in the day, I'll switch over to a smoothie so that I'm just pushing fluids and I got less digestion going on. Some other things I do that kind of help me out with digestion. When I get home from work, I always have a couple of bites of some kind of fermented vegetable. This could be like good quality pickles, kimchi is like my go-to because I like the spice, I like the saltiness. And by being so forward pushing with all the fluid I'm getting in, the sodium doesn't necessarily seem to really be an issue. Quite frankly, with the amount of potassium and magnesium I'm getting in, it's probably necessary to like keep healthy hydration. So that's one thing I've been doing, really pushing the fluids in the first half of the day with large volumes of fibrous foods, fruit, and then in the second half of the day leaning into a smoothie or two, because you can, for example, mix frozen fruit, which is very low calorie, with a sugar-free drink mix. Like I've been using sugar-free lemonade. You can put 3 cups of berries for, 280 calories. Sugar-free lemonade, ton of water, pinch of xanthan gum, and you can blend up, 8, 9 cups of fluid that tastes great, very satisfying, and it's filling. And if you need to run that back a second time, or if you have enough calories to use like full flavored, full sugar drink mix, go for it. But limiting my calories to 2,500 calories has been like money. There's not mystery in the tracking now. Now this week, because it's my first week and we don't really know, like I said earlier, what's going on under the hood, whatever I end this week with is kind of like irrelevant. from where I started, because we don't know really what my starting weight was. So going into next week is when I'll really see like how much weight am I losing over a weekly period, because I'll be going into Sunday very consistent with the same amount of food going in, the same meal times, same frequency, the same volume. And then going into the following Sunday when I like weigh in, right? It's like that's going to be a much cleaner set of data. And I'll be able to like really work with that. Like, am I eating a little too little? Do I need to add a little more food? Am I like right on the money? You know, am I just keep pushing with what I'm doing? Now, not this weekend, but the following weekend, I have a camping trip. So I will leave Thursday and I will get back Sunday night. During that time, food options are going to be a little limited. So I'll probably go heavier into dry fruit because I can bring that with me. Now, for those of you that are like, well, dry fruit will sell you out. I've been having dates and bananas every morning. I am not somebody looking to lose like 50 plus pounds. You know, I am only in like that 20 to 30 pound range. So I don't know if that's like a deal breaker for heavier people. It very well likely might be. But some ways that I've been also like working with leveraging that is by having that at my breakfast. So like this morning, yesterday morning, I had, you know, like 440 calories of dates and like 300 calories of banana. But I have it, you know, when I wake up. So like I have an entire 24 hours until my next weigh-in for that heavier, denser food to digest. Make of that what you will. If you are somebody interested in playing with starch, putting in the morning, giving yourself plenty of time to digest, because from what I understand, I might be wrong, glucose does digest a little bit slower, whereas fructose is straight into the liver. So it would make sense, right? Like if we're going to put denser food items like starches into the morning, you have an entire 24 hours to digest it. Pushing fluids, pushing fibrous foods, like this all might work to our benefit if these are things that you're interested in. Either way, you got to play with it a little bit. So I'm going to sign off there, especially because I got a coworker calling me, even though it is 10 minutes before I'm supposed to clock in, so he can eat, you know. Yeah, so have a good day, guys.